Well, what's going on, gang? It's Zippo. Guess we ought to tear into this thing, huh? Got my parts. Got to tear some things off in order to get the U-bolts out. So, I need to remove both of the brake levers. Here and here. It's got disc brakes. May go ahead and jack it up and get the wheels off and get jack stands under either side. Hopefully far enough out of the way that I can still get this back panel off after I get the oil pan off of there. I had a bung for the gas tank right here. I didn't know if I had one or not. Turned out I did. This I'm just not going to mess with. Not worried about the fuel gauge. I just took the light bulb out. Told Miss Zippo just pay attention. So since the Legacy is up at her place taking care of the mowing duties, get this one all sorted out hopefully here this week, and we can get it up to her so that she can enjoy it. But I will probably end up mowing with this one this week just to make sure that everything is good with it, or beginning of next week. Just all depends. So let me get set up. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the wheels off, see if I can get jack stands under there where they're not going to impede progress, and we will continue. So hang on. Alright, we've got it precariously perched, and I've got the back side shimmed with a big screwdriver on both sides, just so I've got room to get this plate off. I disconnected the brake rods so that I can get each of the U-bolts off, and now all we've got to do, yeah, you can see how I'm being really careful, but if you look here, the hydro is attached in the front, so I'm not at risk of dropping the hydro if one of these jacks kicks out. But I'm holding the frame up as well, just to be on the safe side, because those jack stands make me just a little nervous. But I'm going to zip all these little 3/8 bolts out. Hopefully no more will be broken like that one, and we'll even get better lighting for you. We'll be right back. Alright, to my pleasant surprise, they all came out. I did revert to the air over the battery operated impact, but they all came out. We have 3 total broken, one right here, and that would be that length, so there's a good bit in there, and then that's the length of the ones here on the sides. So I have 2 broken over there on the outermost corner here and here, but everything else came out, so I have 3 that I have to extract. Get those 3 extracted, replace the 3 that are broken, get this rear end sealed back up properly. Well, I guess we do have some smudge down there, don't we? Just a little bit. Not too bad. All right, I'm going to pry that back plate off, which is probably going to take a while because it is heavily siliconed into place. Looks like they only took one side loose and then just squirted a bunch of silicone in there trying to seal it up. That's never the way to do anything, in my opinion. So, but hopefully when I'm done with it, it won't leak. You can see this big glob of silicone right here, look, and here, right there, big booger. Isn't that nice? Oh, I'll do a half rear-ended job, why don't you? All right, let's get that back plate off, see what all's going on in there. Well, it came off, and that was just the rear gasket there. There is no gasket that goes on either side here. But there's goobers of silicone everywhere. I got to get all of it cleaned off. Got some of it down here. But figured I'd pop the camera on, show you guys what's going on here. You see all the silicone right here. See all that? It's just gobbed it. Gobs and gobs and gobs of it everywhere. And it looks like I can probably get a hold of that bolt and that bolt, maybe. But I have a left-handed drill that I will use. It's a drill bit that twists backwards, and hopefully that will be enough to cause them to grab and pull out. If not, I will at least have a good surface to drill into and implement an easy out. So, but as we stand, we are at least part way into fixing it. We got the disassembly part done, which wasn't too bad. Really all it was dropping the U-bolts. There's one sitting right underneath that box right there, which bolted right there on that clean spot on either side. It's my daughter. Her man just got a new truck and she's excited about it. And then after I get all this old silicone off, I'm going to be using the Honda Bond. I've never had any issues with the Honda Bond, but this thing has got to be impeccably clean in order for any good seal to work properly. So I have an awful lot of cleaning I've got to do, but we will get it cleaned up, and we will get her slapped back together, and we will cross our fingers that we have no leaks when we're done. But as I get these bolts out, I think I'll go after the bolts first and then the silicone afterward, because each one of these holes is just plastered with silicone. Just incredible. Ungodly amount. Look at it right here. I must use a whole tube of kitchen and bath caulk, because it's all clear caulk. So it's household caulk. It is not a gasket maker, but oh well, such is life. We'll get it squared away. I'll turn the camera back on eventually. Well, gang, it's quitting time. A little bit after quitting time. Here's the rear panel. Got it cleaned up. Still have a little bit more silicone to dig out there, and I need to clean all the oil out and degrease it and everything, make sure it's good and clean, so that when I go to reassemble, my Honda Bond will stick. But that's going to have to wait until the next part. So Cub Cadet kept fighting me and kept fighting me. Here's the broken screws, the heads to the broken screws, and the broken screws. I got lucky. Two came out real easy. This one over here gave me some trouble, but we got it out, obviously, as you can see. But gotta get this backside cleaned off really well, put everything back together, fill it back full of fluid, and hopefully have no more leaks. That's the hopes. It's a big heavy steel plate. I'm assuming it acts as a girder to hold the transaxle housing together. The transaxle housing itself is aluminum. This gasket right here is in pretty good shape, so I'm going to reuse that one. That's the inner gasket. It takes two. Inner gasket. There was no gasket here. Sorry, there was no gasket here at all, and there's no gasket on the diagram, so that just gets sealed up. The oil somehow was traveling through this axle, but not this axle. You can see a little bit of rust there on the axle, but not through this axle. That was probably due to a breach in this area here, allowing the oil to seep in there. So hopefully we'll get that squared away, and then get it put back together, sit back down on the ground, and off and running to the races. That's the hopes anyway. Thanks for staying tuned for this part of it. Before I started this, I did work on the Craftsman a little bit, just looking to get the get it charging. And I've misplaced my big stash of regulators. I found 2 and neither one of those were any good. So when I find my good stash of regulators, then we should be golden. But the regulator that's on it, I did get it off and it is unhappy. So, alright, that's it. Guys, stay tuned for the next part. See you on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.